Here we are in Bruges still as the CUSB Red Bulls take on the Belgian Open squad. I'm Stefan Rapazzo, joined with Liam Grant on this right now sunny day. Liam, how you doing? And tell us what we've got in store for us today with this game.
Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be on the maiden voyage with you, Stefan. It's our first game together. That's the most exciting thing. This is a back-to-back-to-back Bologna here, the third Bologna team in a row. Exciting to see. This is Power Pool Double D. All teams still a chance to get through. Red Bulls with 2 wins already against Costa Rica Grandes Ragnarok. Belgium Open fell on Universe Point to Costa Rica Grandes, so they could really do with a win here.
But it is the Red Bulls who are undefeated. Moby Espitia with a very uncharacteristic drop on the second throw of the game. He's one of their calm, cool, collected handlers, but doesn't show the calm on that one. Red Bulls shot straight away, not to the intended receiver. Secondary option has a look, but can't close the hands on it either. And Belgian Open will have a chance to go the other way again. Backhand from their own end zone, too many hands, and the D layout gets it straight away for a goal.
Alessandro De Luca with that amazing grab, layout from behind. Can't believe he caught it as well. That man played with a CUSB Fata at the WUCC World Championships and was outstanding there, and the young man is showing what he's made of here.
Unbelievable play there, a questionable throw from the corner line there, and they made him pay. Am I wrong, or are the Red Bulls are still undefeated? Is that right, Liam?
Still undefeated, yeah, that is correct.
I must say the most impressive team I have seen. I haven't seen everybody. I haven't seen the Belgian under-24s go at it yet, but this CUSB team that's supposed to be their young team, maybe thought of as the second team, but the way they are moving, throwing, doing everything, they do not look at all like a second team. They look the goods. I would not be surprised if I saw this team into semis, possibly into a final. We'll see if they can prove me right.
Alessandro De Luca there, staying on the field and has the pull. Actually turned over earlier with that inside flick, but managed to get it back with that incredible layout. He's going to be playing a lot of points. One of 11 Italian under-24s on this roster. And
the Italian under-24s, as we all know, turning into an incredible program. They took America to the brink as Espitia throws deep, but throws it into the hands of the Italian defense. That's Fiorentino, who smacks away a disc for the D. But this under-24 program, this youth program in Bologna, Liam, it has turned from a Davide Mori pet project into one of the greatest youth programs in the world. They've got thousands. How many thousands of players in Bologna right now?
I think 1 billion. I think it's straight up billion.
1 billion pasta-eating Italians throwing plastic all over the place. Here they come the other way, clearing half field and only nearing half field anyways, and only 2 throws. And now they get to the half. It's Masoli with the disc. He looks for the forehand. He gets the Berkeley cut now. He dumps back. De Luca surveys his options. Now engages the dump. Now looks away again. Now a wobbler. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he hung on. But a stall count is called as Espitia taps his head. And everybody waves their hands, but the wind is blowing the wrong way. They cannot hear their voices. I wonder if there will be a contest or if it will be turned over.
Yeah, Moby's had a pretty rough game so far. One drop, one turnover.
Well, at least get it all out of you early.
Yeah. Hasn't been to a training session yet with this Belgian national team.
But apparently has moved to Belgium to meet the requirements of playing for national teams. Now that Wooftuff has made some changes. Bobble kept in the hands of the Italians. Unbelievable. A worm burner gets across there as Merighi moves again De Luca. They're just going back and forth, playing a bit of a horizontal game. Now they go upfield. Man's under it. It's Masoli against two defenders, and the defenders get the better of the play.
Yeah, you got to think this is the major advantage that the Belgian Open team have is height. There's a lot of small players on the Red Bulls, very quick, very patient, but there's definitely some height mismatches for the Belgians.
And I think we've maybe deduced that this Belgian team is good, but perhaps the Belgian under-24 even the better of the two squads. This one's up, floating. Hospital pass, as some may call it. It's going straight out of bounds, though. But the Belgian under-24 is possibly the better of these two teams. They would probably love to play each other to decide. But they probably match up a little bit better against an Italian squad like this. They've got the same kind of speed, and they've got those Yonkers brothers who bring a lot of height as well.
Yeah, their last three matchups, the first two, Belgium under-24 won a Universe. The last one, they won 15-4.
So they definitely got the better. And who knows what the Belgian Open team was doing on the last one, or if it was indeed the under-24s that just brought that much more, as De Luca hangs onto that one that's thrown behind him and then throws a beauty upfield. Lugassi, return throw, fakes the backhand. It's Gatti, gets it again. De Luca. Backhand, slight break there. Just beautiful movement right now by the Italians on this part of the possession. It's Gatti. Centers. De Luca. Waiting for a cut to open. Now looks to center. Does. Very calm decisions. Fiorentino to De Luca. De Luca. Chomping on that backhand on that front pivot foot, but still doesn't deliver it. Goes back to center, very responsible. Nice boring offense, and that one over the shoulder, not so boring. Tries to get away with a bit more than he could have, and the Italians turn it over, but at least in their own end.
Yeah, you know, this young team, you expect them to be tenacious, but they play more like a Masters team. Really good throws, really patient.
And Belgium, Espitia, with the not wearing a number, but we all know who he is. Another one without a number. These Belgian Open team looking very pick-up-like. Espitia puts it deep, has a receiver. Defense is there, doesn't even need to lay out. Gets the hand on, tip away by Merighi. And the wind picks up, blowing right in our faces, into the face of the camera here. This near sideline will be the sideline where most of the pressure will push towards, I would imagine.
I thought number 31, Benjamin Verikin, actually playing that the Belgian player. Looked like he had a better position, but was kind of caught waiting for the disc. Allowed the Red Bulls player to get the inside position. You can see they're looking for the depot the whole time.
Absolutely, and in a day like this where the wind is changing, where the conditions are inclement, the punt and D, the huck and D, it's not the worst option. You can't stick with it all game, but there's definitely points like this where just getting it out of your own end and avoiding those small throw errors will help you out. But let's see if the Red Bulls can make them pay by going the full length of the field. They've done most of it in 4 throws. And Gatti now, Espitia on the mark, continues it on. It's De Luca. He gets up, back to Gatti. Masoli slows things down a little bit. They're back in striking zone. So after the big huck and D, the D part's not really holding up the way they thought.
Yeah, huck and D would work against most teams, but not this patient, reliable Red Bull side.
Reliable and hard cutting. There's every single cut that's coming, whether it's out of the handler position, whether it's out of the stack. Now they're on the doorstep. No matter where it is, they just are fast and cutting hard. Still, that's a mount. Fiorentino gets rid of it late. It gets rid of it for a goal. A high mounting stall count at the very end there, and it's Lugasi on the receiving end as the Italians cash in a arduous point to make it 2-0, Liam.
Yeah, getting high in the stall count here. And now we see that Red Bull. Buttery Biss is coming out, fakes the flick, makes the space for the throw. Benoit Spappin's caught out in the mark. And yeah, Red Bull's looking really good. So that is a 2-0 lead, the undefeated team. Belgium Open really need to win this game if they want to get that second spot in the group and make quarterfinals after losing on University of Costa Rica Grandes.
It would make their life easier.
Now, I think if Ragnarok beat Costa Rica Grandes, they might be able to finish in second on a three-way tie anyway, but they like to keep their faith in their own hands and try and get a win here.
Absolutely. No point in giving the other team any advantage. Let somebody else dictate your fate. You might as well dictate it yourself, get the win. Make sure you know your own path, or else the losing way through the bracket is ain't the prettiest. Better bring your machete, cut through some thick brush. So I never got to pick my top four, my semis, and I still don't know if I would have them lined up the way Ravi and you did on your wonderful podcast. But I still see two of the CUSB teams as two of the four best I've seen thus far. I would put them both in it most certainly. With them, I don't know, maybe Belgium under 24, but I haven't seen quite enough of them. Maybe Free Speed to round it out, but there's definitely a few others as Mr. Mine gets horizontal and helps his team out with a big bid. Parodi, sorry. Not Mr. Mine. We thought it was Toby Mine yesterday playing. We were wrong. Valentini. This is Tobias Mine, who moved it on. Yeah. Now Toby Mine again. On the doorstep. Still waiting. Pop. Ugly, ugly pass that gets bobbled and dropped. This conversation whether the defensive pressure helped that drop. Uncontested foul as the hand signals convey.
Tobias Mine, brother of Bruno Mine.
Brother of Bruno Mine. He was actually a member of Cagne Porci when I was last in Bologna, a totally different club. And here they go, shot to end zone. Defense came, he was expecting the contact, I think. He turned his shoulders, which made that catch much more difficult. Surprising to not see any call on that one. Belgium, open. Looking for answers because it's been nothing but Red Bulls inside out, back end. Will it come back out? It's floating, there's a half a dozen under it. Who reads it best? Not really anyone, but it gets swatted away.
There's a lot of contact there.
I see a dozen hand signals coming from everybody out there.
First off, there's a stall out called. I don't know if it's contested or not. I think it's uncontested. Yeah, it's uncontested stall out. So it's going to be coming back up here right on the end zone line.
Well, that's good defense. Uncontested stall counts on the goal line.
Pretty rare you actually get an uncontested stall out.
Wait a minute. No. Yes, it was uncontested stall. I know you always hear a fast count or something. I must say, from my perspective, I didn't think that was getting too high in the count.
No, that's an Italian 10 seconds, I think.
An Italian 10 or a 6 otherwise. Mine throws for goal to Parodi, the man we thought was the other Mine, and Red Bulls continue to dictate here. They are looking the goods.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Absolutely they do.
Wind picking up now, coming from the far side towards the near of our cameras. But you wouldn't think so, the way this CUSB Red Bull team moved the disc. Such good throws. And that's the big difference I find from their youth program to others. There's people who are 17, 18 years old and look like they've been thrown for 20 years. It's fantastic.
I think I said it yesterday before really having a good look. I said, okay, yes, sure, these guys are fast and they're young and they're, you know, they run a great structure. But if we get into a windy day, they may be, you got to consider them a potential underdog. And both yourself and Ravi ixnayed that and said, no, these young fellas can throw. Watch. And I think immediately I saw a sharp forehand inside break by Parodi, and that was the point where I said, wow, these guys ain't just a bunch of good-looking kids. They can throw, they can cut, they can do it all, and they've been doing it all weekend so far. Knockdown disc on the pull. Espitia gets it. Cuts are not coming fast and furious by any means. Meekers upfield. Vanderwood. Now he is in a power position looking to the end zone, center of the field. Espitia gets some room, not quite in. He's gonna have to retreat and throw another one, which he does. And Belgium Open calls a travel. Sorry, Red Bulls call a travel on Belgium Open. No celebration quite yet.
I'm not sure if that was a travel. He definitely traveled, but he went back to the spot.
I thought he got there too.
And you walk straight back out from where you were, so I think, yeah, they're discussing it now, and he's maybe calling a goal. I think it should be a goal.
Yeah, I think so too. It looks like he was just about to concede that. I saw the two hands in the air there. Or is that a pick?
A pick called. If there's a pick called, that's entirely different.
Yeah, that's not what we were looking at. So looks like Espitia will get the disc back. The pick cutters should go back to their place. And we're tapped in with Espitia on the goal line.
That is Benoit Spappins now at the disc, only turning up today.
Spappins, just a one-day wonder. Oh, and he finds the mailbox. The huge spike by Meekers. Almost an anger spike there. Throws it the other way. Spappins said he could only come in. He's got a 7-month-old baby that he's got to get back to take care of, that is apparently not giving him any help catching any disc for him. So he's got to do all the work at home and here in Bruges.
Yeah, stops the bleeding there. They get their first score on the board. 3-1 now to Red Bulls. Looking comfortable enough in this match.
Looking good, and we don't quite know yet what our next round matchup will be, but if our early part of the schedule is any indication, we can expect another CUSB team to be playing, but we do have to wait for some results till we have it worked out. We can assure you that after this game, we'll have very little rest, and we'll be right back at you with continuous coverage here from Bruges for Tom's Tourney with the wonderful people at Alti TV. Here comes the Belgian Ultimate Belgium Open Ultimate pull. Great pull, floating. Not great, didn't make it to the end zone, but good pull. Defense is engaged and fully on before the first throw, but the first throw is a great break. And they go the other way. Now the zone is in big trouble as the gainer goes to Valentini. He waits. The zone gets a chance to engage again, but only just now. They're right on. Parodi with the disc. Parodi looking for answers. Great little break. He goes underneath. It wasn't even in a round. They're finding all the holes. Valentini to Parodi, Parodi to Valentini. He's on the run, catches it out in front, and the Belgians stop the bleeding, and the Red Bulls just ram it right back down their throat there. Maybe 7, 8 throws, but there was not a stall count that went higher than 3, even with the zone on.
Yeah, that zone carved open like a Christmas turkey. And I think, you know, you got to look at the comparison here. The advantage Belgian Open have is height. They want to force them to hook. That's what you want to do. And maybe that's where they're hoping the zone, but the throws are so good, they're going to pick it apart. And I'd like to see them maybe go flat force, try and take away unders, and just try and get them to hook. Because if they allow them to play a short ball, pick passes, they're going to destroy them.
As they are, because that's what they are allowing right now. They got to change it up a little bit. find an answer to slow down these Red Bulls or make them throw some more floaty options. But right now, they're finding no answers for this Red Bulls squad.
Yeah, so 11 of them playing for the Italian under-24 team, and there's big talks in the ultimate community is like, are they good enough to beat the US? And if you look at athleticism and height, there's such a massive gap between these Italian under-24 players here playing for Red Bulls and the American under-24 team. But I would say a lot of them are better movers of the disc, patient players, probably have a better ultimate IQ. So I think this summer we might see that showdown that a lot of people are hoping for.
Here's the shot, it's floaty. In this case, they've got their biggest man underneath it through the Red Bulls. Double misread, and then a bounce out of both hands. The Italians get the benefit of the bounce there.
Jeff Stevens looks like he got his hand on it eventually after a little misread, but can't reel it in. And like I think that's the right offensive option by Belgium. They just need to execute it better.
Toby Montagatti. Fiorentino. Nice upfield gainer, back to Mine on the sideline, shoots deep, has his man. Ferrari zips down like a Testarossa and picks up a goal. The Red Bulls are opening a huge gap here, one that I'd say is already too big to overcome for the Belgians.
The Belgians are getting spanked in their own backyard right now.
It's a good old-fashioned paddling.
That is a paddling. Yeah, and there's two people free in the end zone there. You see a timeout called by Belgium Open, and that's probably a good decision because they are not in this game right now.
I'm surprised they're not moving their timeout over to the beer trailer right now. It looks like it could be time for retirement. They need more than just a spark right now. They need a momentous shift to even find a way back into this. I guess it all starts with the next point, and that's all they really need is one. But wow, finding that one's been difficult so far.
To get back in this game, you'd need about 4 or 5 yonkers, I'd say.
Yeah, a ronkers and a jonkers, or a bonkers rather.
A couple of donkers in there.
Well, they need to be reproducing quick. Help this Belgium youth program.
Yeah, but Red Bulls, I think, could be the favorites over.
For me right now, again, you know, I don't know the European Ultimate circuit as well as yourself and Ravi. I've been immersed last year. I've cut a bit, but I know Ultimate, and I had a good walk around yesterday. I watched a lot of action, and no team has impressed me as much as these Red Bulls have. They're fast. Their throw is more than anything. The one thing that I doubted, and probably because of my skepticism, I'm even more impressed. But there's no flaws in their team game.
Looking at the other power pools, only one team guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinals so far, and that is Free Speed. After losing to Devon yesterday, have won both their games in the power pools.
And that was La Fota they beat in the morning in a Universe game.
Yeah, Universe points. And they've also, I think, beaten Alba. And it's Alba and CUSB now facing for that second spot, essentially.
And CUSB is going to take it.
Alba have been good. Alba have had some good wins.
And they do have the giant you spoke of, either the worst perspective for a down call ever, but maybe a half-decent read in the air, let's hope.
Yeah. A lot of talk about him, 7'1", probably the tallest ultimate player in Europe right now.
I'm pretty sure if I stood next to him with my arm up, I could maybe touch his nose. He is a huge man. There's no point in the giant marquee tent. If he was standing up, I could see. There's no way I could not see that man.
I want to see him what tent he's camping in, if he is camping, or what hostel he's staying in.
Yeah, he's probably camping in the marquee just so he can fit in the door. Expedia, walk into the brick mark. Let's see what they talked about at their timeout. Possibly a full field scuba out of Expedia if he's using his own playbook.
I think just Huck better, you know?
Volley. Winds up. Nobody behind the disc now. Left him stranded, but he returns. Good little Berkeley cut, except the ballet spin that he used in there. Expedia now comes under. He gets the disc. They're going backwards, our Belgian Open. Still at midfield. The Red Bull defense all over the place, but shot goes deep. Defense is there, better read by the attack. Denise Skittles with the goal, and whatever they talked about at that timeout worked for something. They got back on the board. 2-5, still down by 3, but an answer.
Yeah, maybe waiting a little while longer to set up that deep shot, not taking the first option, but that's probably the first time we've seen them really hold position, which they've often had, and take down the disc. Yeah, looking at the other power pools, Chevron Action Flash, 2 wins, Universe point win against the under 24 men, and a win versus Wall City. They're playing against Shack now. That group's still wide open. Any of the 4 teams to get through along with Chevron. Looking again, Belgium under 24 with 2 wins, looking pretty good. Devon Ultimate 1 win, Is No Good 1 win. Probably one of the 2 of them to get through. Kapow haven't won around yet, so.
Kapow had that huge upset yesterday, taking down Half Chalk. As the pull goes out the back, thrown back in, that's illegal. But I don't think anybody's calling that one.
Nah, if both teams are okay with it, it's fine.
Yeah, then it's not illegal. Brunelli brings it to the brick spot. He winds up. Parodi, what a great throw behind the defense. In this wind, that is an all-touch throw. Parodi goes deep. He has an open man, and he has a perfect dive dropped right onto the head of his receiver, who is not registered properly on my score sheet, so I can't even give him the shout out. The throw, though, we can shout out. What a throw by Parodi in this wind. Half field, cross field, outside in, arcing dime, right over the head of the defender and into the hands of his awaiting goal-scoring receiver.
I think it was Luca Valentini with the goal. But again, I think better defense there for Belgium. They're definitely trying to take away the unders. They wanted them to try the deep shot, shut down the first few undercuts, but Red Bull's like, okay, we have to do something different. We have to chuck it deep. We can do that as well.
Anything you can do, we can do better. And I believe it with these guys. My predictions are less bold now that the tournament started, but I think these Red Bulls are going to emerge as our tournament champions tomorrow. I'm saying it now as an official prediction. And I think that would cost Davide Mori 50 euros. I know his La Fota 51 club has bet the Red Bulls, obviously the 2 clubs coming out of the CUSB Bologna program. They have an internal bet who will finish higher. Both teams happy to take on the bet, both doing quite well, but it seems these teams are doing better. We'll see if the veterans can pull better on the final day of competition. Here come Belgium. Swipe, Meekers, wind picking up. Good throw to center. Moon catches player, moves again. Veriken moving his pivot, moving his mark well with his pivot, gets it back, does Veriken. Now the poaching D almost gets a hand, but not quite. Returned to Espedia. Espedia into center. Now upfield, Gainer to Meekers. Meekers bobbles, but hangs on. Backhand far side. It's gonna go out of bounds. It almost had enough curve. It was to an open man, but that throw needed to be a bit more precise.
Great catch by one of our fans on the sideline here. So people are having some lunch and enjoying the game.
Yeah, now that the sun's out, even with the wind blowing, it's not so bad right now. It's a nice afternoon outside here in Bruges.
Is this your first time in the Belgian city of Bruges?
It is my first time in the Belgian city of Bruges. I've been in the Belgian city of Antwerpen one time. But yeah, most of my stops in Europe are my first time there. I've been to a handful of places, but this definitely the first. Here's a shot for goal. He's gonna get there. He's young, he gets faster with every step. And Italy still making it look easy.
Yeah, how many times have you seen the Belgian just bop up and down, drift out of bounds, and we see that one just cut through the wind like it's not even there.
Yeah, the just slicing throws through this wind. And you, Liam, how many Tom's tourneys have you found yourself at?
I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, it all kind of melted into one.
Well,
Definitely,
maybe not find yourself, known to be at, or other people may have told you that you were there.
I think 3 or 4.
Okay.
Is it 3? I'm going to say this is my third or
that
fourth.
number's not that high, between 3 and 4. We could probably get to a more definitive number with a bit of reflection, but we'll get there after the game. No time for reflection of that sort right now, as we've got this game to cover. But yeah, well, I mean, it's a tournament that I've heard so much about over the years. It's one that's been around. I call it a boutique tournament. I know Ravi calls them event tournaments, not part of a qualifying circuit, but it is the season kickoff. It's everybody shakes the spider webs off, but still a high caliber of talent shows up. And they still want to win, but they're here for a good time. It's that kind of an event tournament. Pull, not quite to the end zone yet, so I don't like it. Expedia hangs on to one that could have very easily gotten away for a one-throw turn. Mr. Moon catches, winds up, shoots. Deval is under it. Defense there too, but Deval takes position, takes the disc, takes the goal. 3-7. Belgium answers the bell. Could be a case of too little, too late.
Jonas Devala with the goal there. Won the final here last year playing with Frisbees, one of the actual Frisbees players that won last year. Actually works as a part-time model and voted the best looking Belgian player by me.
Yeah, that's a very important opinion.
Yeah, but he was sensational in the final here last year when they beat Shaq on Universe Point. Decided to retire as champions, Frisbees.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, I guess because of the European youth competition going on this year, it really shakes things out with the Belgium Open team and the Belgian under-24 team. That's really breaks up everybody. The moon catchers did still come here, but they're a shell of their moon catching selves. But it did mean the end of the Frisbees for this year.
Yeah, not the full moon. This is half moon, quarter moon, crescent moon catchers.
Crescent moon catchers. Here come Red Bulls. Oh, no they don't. Oh yes they do, they're still coming. Stays in the middle of the field, Albertini. Deep, what a pickup, 50's having a point here. Back, Gaspari. Gaspari on the goal line, drops back again, Albertini. Albertini centering De Luca. Oh, he wants to break, and he does. Again, into the end zone. Zani gets it. A huge point by Venturoli. He had a big bobble and into a catch. A huge bid to keep a disc alive. He's doing everything out there. They really don't even need him to at this stage, but he's doing it anyways.
Yeah, the Italians now in cruise control. Exceptional play all around the free. A few loose passes, but they have the athleticism and tenacity to gather them back up. And just look, yeah, as you said, probably playing the best ultimate we've seen so far at the tournament.
I wouldn't be surprised to see what Davide calls a charity line coming out soon. We can beat them with the charity line, as Davide Mori says.
That's a good one. I like that. We'll keep that one for later. Yeah, this Belgium Open team, you know, made the quarters at Worlds in 2016, semi-finalists 2015 at EC, but I found out there's only 4 returners from that Belgian Open team of the past. So kind of transitioning now to a different Open team, obviously missing their under-24 stars, but yeah, a lot of the older guys kind of retiring from the national scene.
Here come Belgium, Expedia. Winding up backhands, winding up forehands, pops a little backhand into the same spot that he was standing. Bit of a give-go continuation onto our sideline here. He nods, does he? Mueller gets it. And back to Spappins. Espedia, midfield, gainer. Looked for the continued pop, but didn't. Now Espedia gets it with a bit of position, gives it with the position. Mueller now getting close. Fakes again, fakes once and twice, and gives it to the defense. Espedia was going, but all of the defense caved in on that before he even got close to some open space. Now back upfield, here come the Red Bulls. Masoli, a little 1-2 action, gets it back. Now De Luca. There's a break, but too high. Soccer goal. Not, oh, goodness gracious, that was close to the post. Everybody's okay, and that's just a turnover, simply. Spappins is going to pick that up, but wow, that was close.
Almost a layout goal post.
Yes, it's like he was playing goalie and trying to prevent that goal. Don't let the frisbee go in the net. Spappins wiping the disc down as he gives himself a front wedgie with his shorts. Here we go, Belgium. Late game action. Salvage some pride here. That's low, but it counts. Sliding to the ground, Espedia gets it. Now back upfield. Decent movement here. They've stuck it. Spappins is deep. He's got time to get there. He's got the height. He's got the goal. Belgium with a bit of an answer late game here. They're still getting doubled up even after that. It's 8-4, but a nice response nonetheless.
Yeah, Spappin's always going to win that matchup. Just needs the huck to match his athleticism. Yeah, talking to Tim Sang before, he picked up with CUSB for WCC last year, and I was asking him, hey, what's the youth scene like in Bologna compared to Vancouver? And he's like, yeah, we're a long way behind Bologna, was his answer. Which is amazing to think. Vancouver, a very big ultimate city, but
been there forever, years and years. You think of the Furious program at the top end, but I know full well I've played in Vancouver a bunch of times recreationally and competitively, and there's a lot of people playing there, but it's not shocking to hear that they're still behind Bologna. It's just such a tight-knit unit, and it's just growing and growing, but it still has the family feel no matter how big they keep getting. And of course, we must credit that to one of the most animated men in this sport. Animated is one of the most gracious ways of putting it. Davide Mori, doing everything, especially in the realms of recruitment, to keep this sport growing in his beloved hometown. The slow walk to the line now.
a wee Sonder. Milking it, I like that. Calming everyone down with his patient walk.
Brunelli. Parodi. Oh, but that one gets scooped up. Could they score a couple quick ones here? Well, once the dump didn't have anything. The defense did tighten up there for a second. Stevens now with the disc. Fakes the big break. Dumps. Maida. Oh, miscommunication. Thought he was dumping. He was going up line. Nah, almost a fast break to Huck, but they slow it down. Brunelli.
Playing with a zone again. They got one chance there to break. That's the second break opportunity of the game. Couldn't bang it in though, but a little bit better from Belgium.
Parodi now, far sideline, zone engaged. Brunelli. Ooh, that one almost got it into the ground. Framello. Framello again. Brunello. Faking through the zone, but going around, settling for the arounds. Albertini. Dumping around, dump and swing. This boring ultimate opens holes. Parodi. Parodi gets the big gainer. Now they're off and running on the front foot. Travel called, justifiably so. Continue. Finding all sorts of space are these Italians. Shot to goal is the one that doesn't work. And we're into a long late game point here. Belgium going to get it back and look at the whole field in front of them.
Yeah, I like that Belgium zone, but I think the deep can actually maybe come a little shy, come a little under, bait that deep shot. Trying to make them throw over, especially the zone in front. It's going to be very hard to throw a good hawk. Make them throw deep, because you see when they carve through the middle, they're very good at it. But yeah, this is their second break opportunity of the point.
Here they come. Gets the first incoming cut. Playing in their end zone just about. The dump cuts will be into the end zone. Pick called. Deval. He shakes and bakes and puts it. We've got a few Belgian receivers. He comes up with it with all sorts of space and the shot to the end zone. Belgium scores again within 3. Time to run it out. I say we got 9 minutes, but a good full team celebration. A little bit of a spark now for Belgium. They've got their work cut out for them, but they've scratched out a bit of momentum.
And that's the first time we've seen the famous Belgium break train. That's their first break of the game. Remember that little chugga chugga woo celebration from years gone by. But that's the first time they've been able to bust it out this game. Again, that zone defense being much more effective, taking the long shot as well. I think that's how, if they want to get breaks, that's how they got to do it.
That's how you got to do it. The wind again picking up. We're feeling it. I feel it on the mic. I feel it on our faces here. It's gusty. It's stop and starty. The sun is coming. The clouds are moving. It's 4 seasons in a day. Sometimes here we get 4 seasons every hour. It seems to stop and start again. Good pull. Gonna roll into the end zone or roll right out. Actually, that's a great pull. He's gonna have to come to the front cone, I believe, or maybe a meter up from the front cone.
Yeah, I think it rolled out just about a meter up. Yeah, fantastic pull. Allows them to set up this zone.
Here come the Italians in a very tight space. They get the first pass off. Brunello, crossfield, gainer. Venturoli gets his hands on it. Oh, and that one, the wind gets all of it. And number 4 basically just washed the drum to the ground. Didn't really need to do much to get a D on it. A wide open poach there, gets his hands on the disc. There was still a poach, and the Belgians didn't really do anything to try and take advantage of the non-coverage there. Now a nice little pop pass, little air bounce there, and that backhand from Stevens. Conversation on the field, hands up in the air. I don't know, do you know? I don't know, nobody knows.
Yeah, chance for a second break in a row here for Belgium. I think this is, again, maybe a bit of a charity line. No De Luca.
And shot to goal, not quite in yet. Oh, and thrown away. Deval throws a flick into, or not even into, beyond the knees of his intended receiver. And even if they were on, it was at the knees, so I doubt his. And that hammer goes too far out by Parodi. Nice shape to the throw, but too much on it. Wind cut too much of the inside of the plate.
Dante Simone's picking up the disc here. One of the gentle players.
Centered again. Pierrette, deep. It's floating. It's second little air bounce there. I thought he had that well read. He thought he had that well read. But there was not allowed by the weather.
You say the weather, but every time you've seen Red Bulls do that shot, it's smooth, it's crisp, there's a lot more spin on the disc. Every time Belgium do it, the disc is bouncing all over the place. I think it's a little bit to do with the amount of rotation and spin.
Yeah, you're right. The weather is helping out, but the Red Bulls are not allowing the weather to do it. They've got a bit more touch. They've got a better spin on their disc. The Belgian discs are getting to the right places, but they're just not getting there as crisply, as cleanly. There's a bit too much left up to the elements. Red Bulls again with disc. 5-minute horn we've just heard. Farmiello to Parodi. Albertini. Shaking and baking. Great throw to get through that zone and all the way around to Brunello. Off of that forehand side, he worked for it off 2 pivots and got a beautiful throw. Parodi. That's all you players at home learning your breakthroughs. That's how you do it. Don't just pop over people's shoulders. I mean, the high release throws are great to have, but they shouldn't be relied on for your one and only breaks. Break like these gentlemen, and as I say that, he gets blocked on the around.
Yeah, dirty little foot block there from Jeff Stevens.
Belgium again. Marathon point here. Multi-turnover point. But it doesn't matter how many you get if you cash in the last one. Oh, good bid, but the hands didn't close for him.
I'd like to see Belgium Open maybe doing that, trying more foot blocks, because they are releasing very low, shorter players. That's how they're getting the breaks off. And they're actually very good fakes as well. Not only is the throw good, but they fake to create space very well.
Yes, they do. Parodi, oh, bobble there, but hung on to Gaspari. And that one's in front of Parodi. He lays out, but gets a collar full of grass. Deep shot the other way. Length of the field. He's there. He's all alone. He got his space. He bobbled. I was about to celebrate myself as he bobbled, but he does hang on, does Jeff Stevens. And we got another celebration. We're within 2 now. Time dangerously low. Red Bulls really want to slow this down. They would like the horn to go in the midst of the next point, most definitely, and then the game is theirs. Do themselves a favor and score, and there's no 2 ways about it.
Yeah, the break train has arrived, but has arrived too late.
Yeah, got to the station late. Left some passengers stranded.
We see them stacking now this D-line. Well, at least we see Mobius Bida, not known for his D-line prowess.
But he's assuming they'll get the D and he'll be the one to throw the first throw, right?
Yeah, Spappins. I think it is mostly the O-line actually out here.
I think they've got their top line. They've got their most experienced players, the guys who know how to play in the big moments. They may not be the best at every element still, but they bring the veteran savvy. They know what to do in the key moments. But it's Red Bulls with the disc right now. Parodi. They have controlled this game, and they've used their whole line. Tobias Mine gets Parodi as he breaks the ankles of his defenders going up line. Mine again, cramming it up the cram hole of that far sideline. Gets the upline cut, but opts for Parodi coming back to center, and DeLuca in the center again. Goes back to Parodi, happy to go back and forth. That one in. Did he catch it before he jumped? No, Spappin says no, he retreats. And they're right on the line. Parodi now, goal, caught. Not quite over yet. The final horn hasn't gone, but I think that's the separation that makes it insurmountable.
Yeah, the charity line back in the charity shop here as we see the Uptown Market line, the game-winning line there. Did what they've been doing earlier on in the game and just turning the boosters on and scoring without turning over.
And that's the best thing about what this Red Bulls team is doing. They sure they go a little bit top-heavy to start the game. They run a bit of the few of their better players more, but not like some of the older teams we watch. They're rotating the players. Everybody's getting to go. So by the time they get to Sunday, if they do want to shorten their lines, those guys who are playing are not only 6 to 10 years younger than you, but they also got less miles over the course of the tournament. Well, it just got cold again, Liam.
It did. It did just get cold again. But at least for Belgium Open, they made the scoreline a lot more respectable. It was looking bad there at the start.
Yeah, at 8-3, it was ugly. So since then, they've gone a 3-1 run, taken a little bit of control at the end of the game here. And there is the final horn. This will be the final point. Belgium. Expedia. He wants a deep throw. It's late game. They can't win. Why not huck it? And he's got away with another one to Stevens. He caught a goal earlier on a huck. Can they close out with a goal here? Continued possession. Goal line, shot for goal. Stevens there. The defense comes across and Gatti knocks it down. The Red Bulls don't want to let them win on a score. They'd rather score one of their own. So Liam, it looks like we've got a little bit of direction in our next game. We've got nice Bristols taking on the French women's team.
Oh, nice Bristols. I don't know who they are. I don't think that team exists anymore.
I'm sorry, it's the Bristol Women's Ultimate. Bristol Ultimate. I did hear your podcast and what you guys were talking about. I had no idea what you were talking about when you said you didn't really know what nice Bristols meant. But my putting 2 and 2 together, never being to England in my life, still knew exactly what they were talking about. So I respect the decision for them to go to Bristol Ultimate as Belgium collects the charity point there. They do reduce the deficit to 2 points. They lose a game 9-7. Great game, Liam. It was a pleasure to call the game with you. And we will wrap this one up quick, as we will all week, because we've got another game coming up shortly. More action all weekend long here on Alti TV. I'm Stefan Rapazzo, again joined with the wonderful Liam Grant. We'll see and hear very much more from you all very soon. Have a wonderful afternoon. There's even more confusion. I thought I just called him more confused. Oh, clearly you listen to the podcast.